safer as well. I'm less likely to get pelted by a puck down here. Still got to keep your eyes up on the play, though. Looks like we got the pucks getting cleaned off the ice here. It definitely will be a nice perspective to be able to see everything that goes on, though. It's just a matter of making sure that everything that goes on also goes into the camera so folks at home can see it.
And who do you have your eyes on from this UC Santa Cruz side?
From this UC Santa Cruz side, there are definitely some big-name players coming in, but I've got my eyes on their captain, number 21, Thomas Bryant. Bryant has been a leader for this team all season long. He has been a force in transition. This is absolutely a player that if you are the Gauchos, you have got to keep an eye on.
And I'd also like to point out the goalie, Casey Wu. Last season in a game where giving up 20 goals, the performance of Wu was such that it very easily could have been twice that much were it not for several tremendous saves made by the diminutive goalie from San Diego.
Yeah, we made mention a lot last season about how UC Santa Cruz, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, kind of had to take a hard one last time out, but Wu actually played himself a very good game considering that was pretty much a Gaucho game from start to finish. Flat out dominated by UCSB here on the ice in Paradise Sheet.
We have a brief delay before the contest here, Kyle, so to close out the Center Ice Santa Barbara pregame show, what do you see as a key tonight for the Gauchos?
I think the key is just going to be fast start. Make sure that you can get the wheels going, get the old engine running fairly quickly, kind of cast off any of the fear, I guess you can say. Sorry, a little bit distracted trying to get the camera completely set up over here, but try to cast off a little bit of that fear of the Santa Cruz Slugs coming out a little bit quickly, catching them off guard. Get a couple quick goals past Wu, make sure you can keep control of the game, and it's really just going to come down to playing the basics, playing a very simple style of hockey, which is what the coaching staff is going to want to see going into playoff time.
No anthem here pregame, so let's pick up the starting lineups for both sides. Head coach Scott Hires, as mentioned, Lenny Karma getting the start with Dimitri Piagai wearing number 11 today, and Emmett Rupert on the back end. Cooper Spears centering Michael Herlihy and Dimitri Strategos. The 5 skaters on the ice to begin for UC Santa Cruz. The center, Dakota Yackel, between Jared Penner and June Mack with the defenders, Captain Thomas Bryant and Cole Pollard. Bryant tried to move it along. Spears comes up with the steal, and the Gauchos set up in the offensive end. His shot through traffic, knocked down by Yackel, and a nice stretch feed looking for June Mack. Piagai stands him up along the far sideboards. Will force him to angle it through the high slot, held in at the near point by Blake Miller. Puck battle, won by Rupert, then a heavy hit delivered by Cooper Spears, who shouldered off the puck by Jared Penner for a moment, but Piagai carries the mail into the offensive end, walks by his man, backhands it in front, and Wu with a first glove save of the game.
We talked a lot last game about your first save as a goaltender. You generally want it to be something somewhat routine, something so that way you can kind of get into the rhythm of things, just kind of feel the puck, make contact with your pads. Not necessarily that type of a save, as Piagai walked in down the boards almost completely unimpeded.
Quick break out of the defensive end by Santa Cruz, shut down in neutral ice. Played in the near boards for Chris Cruz Holloway, who scored his first goal as a Gaucho in the win over Santa Rosa Junior College. Sweeps it along, Miller able to angle it out. Angeles giving chase, but Liam Gallant is back to retrieve in the Gaucho end. Gallant out there with Stephen Fleck. Fleck appearing in his 4th contest for the Gauchos. Colin Del Bonis, number 16 for UCSB. Boy, has he had a hot stick of recent. Cruz Holloway on the hold-in. Chris Owaziuk activates, gets through. Put it in front, Bryant able to get it in the feet. Still sitting there in front, and on the second try, Thomas Bryant's able to play it forward. Connor Glantz in the near corner, it's swept away, and perhaps a chance for a Gaucho break here. Owasiak Shrugs off the hit. Sharp angle shot. Wu just able to steal the wickets on it.
Real close, real heady shot from Chris Wasiuk on that play to recognize that Wu just had the wickets open just a little bit. Just couldn't quite get that release off fast enough to beat the goaltender.
Hughes takes the heavy hit from Goldser, and Rupert holds the puck in at the line. Piagai's shot angled behind where Goldser retrieves. Goldser walks it to the high slot, shoots, and a kick save by Wu. Garrett Whittingham given a rough ride from Goldser. Dog pile along the near boards as it's finally worked free and sent out down the ice. Last time out for this UC Santa Cruz side, they picked up a win against California Lutheran. Real heavy hockey in that one as the teams piled up the penalty minutes. Of course, you know how California Lutheran has a way of playing to get under the skin of their opposition.
And UCSB in the past has always been very happy to play that right with them.
Big hit at the blue line by Piagai, but Mack walked it through the high slot. Nice stick to intercede late. Bryant curls in his own end with it. Stretch for Mack. Piagai on the takeaway for Strategos. Takes the touch from Rupert near boards. And the first power play of the game comes up for the Gauchos. It'll be a trip with 3 minutes and 41 seconds play.
And just a little bit of some deceptive skating there turns into a dangerous play as it looks like it's going to be Yackel that heads off to the penalty box. Looks like his backside just kind of caught the leg of the Gaucho player as they went skating through the neutral zone. Kind of a dangerous play. It doesn't look like any worse for wear though. So a little bit of luck there for UCSB, and they will take this chance on the power play.
Gauchos were 1 for 1 on their only special team advantage against Santa Rosa Junior College. Tyler Barone burying one of his 4 goals in the game. Cooper Spears snapped it in front. Bryant clears the line. Piagai waits for traffic, hits it up into the mesh netting right in front of our broadcast position. Technical director is Kellogg. Unimpressed?
I don't think she saw it.
So busy focused on the broadcast. Never mind, Jasper. Keeping track of the shots as the Gauchos, like I said, on their first man advantage of the game. Spears shot deflected. Owasiak tried to lacrosse it on the rebound and just missed it wide of the near post. Couldn't get it out. Owasiak with it again from Rupert. Drops back for Spears. Spears walks it in, tried to go high with it. Wu stands up, and it sticks to the circular Santa Cruz crest.
And again, a very smart bit of goaltending from Wu, recognizing that the top part of the net has been the target here early for the Gauchos, realizing if he stands up, stays on his feet, he takes away more of that net, being a goaltender smaller in stature. It's about playing your advantages, and that time he did.
Gauchos have converted on 34.6% of their power plays this season.
Is that good? You're going to have to tell me. That sounds pretty good.
Mack will carry it in up the left wing, shoots just wide of Karma at the near post. UCSB looking to move the puck along. Well, Chris Owasiak has been playing just tremendous hockey in his second half of the season. 5 of his 11 helpers on the year on the man advantage. He curls with it along the near side boards. McKean can't chip it through the line. Rupert through Del Bonis. 45 seconds remaining in the first Gaucho power play of the evening. Owasiak for Del Bonis. Del Bonis in his office behind the net. Walks it out to the near circle. The shot by Fleck, deflected once twice. Spears tries to wrap it around in front. Owasiak jamming away with it. Wu held. And Rupert has to re-rack and neutral ice. Del Bonis to the high slot. Area feed wide. On his horse behind the net. Austin Trenner chips it back behind. But UC Santa Cruz has killed the first Gaucho power play of the evening. Spears shot deflected through traffic, and Pollard will come away with it. Cole Pollard turned over by Spears. Trenner Beavertailing for it. Spears shoots! Held by Wu.
A little bit of flair on the end of that glove save, too. I know you being the goaltender fan here can kind of appreciate that little bit of showmanship.
It's not quite the full old windmill that Patrick Waugh used to do, but a nice little bit of left-hand larceny from the keeper, Casey Wu.
He's been very good here early. Gauchos have put some very good shots in on him, and he's been equal to everything.
Santa Cruz wins the defensive zone draw. Mingrone is able to pick it up along the far side boards. Clough moved it along. And it's now stretched ahead for Nate Hughes. Hughes stood up by Connor May. Uses the glass, can't get it out on the second try. The area chip forward, Trenner loses his lumber as he stood up at the red line by Blake Miller. Miller will pay the price from Goldser. Hughes stood up at the blue line by Liam Gallant. 13:20 to go here in a scoreless first period. Stretch feed for Cooper Spears. Has a man in the slot. Called his own number. Clough deflected it to the end boards. Whittingham to the line, not out. Gallant shot through traffic. Don't know if Wu got a good beat on it. Mingrone tracks down the rebound. Played it to the middle. Spears retrieves. Mingrone for Spears. It's played to the line. Gallant couldn't get the full glove on it as he's pestered by Mack. What a nice stretch feed here for Goldser. Shoots! Ooh, with a nice save, and again, he holds.
And he was about 3 feet out in front of the top of his blue paint on that save as well, recognizing that Goldser really had nowhere to go besides take that shot. Came way out, cut off the angle. Good, smart goaltending from the Santa Cruz netminder.
Spears' line comes over the boards for the Gauchos, and Spears rips one quickly off the face-off. Nice Slugs try and catch him on the turnaround, but Bryant has to go back into his own end to retrieve. Loses it to Herlihy and Piagai for Rupert. Plays catch with him. And Rupert couldn't walk it through neutral ice. Look out, 3-on-2 here. Mack hesitates, waits. Karma off his line, save made. Penner couldn't put it home at the moment of truth. And Spears recurls behind his own end, plays it into the slot. Mack shot, maybe Karma got a piece of it. 3 of the 4 goals for Santa Rosa Junior College were off giveaways like that one. Their last time out, swept wide by Mack at the bottom of the near circle.
You mentioned the goals against Santa Rosa. That's something that the coaching staff's going to want to tighten up.
Herlihy into the slot. Herlihy hit the post. Oh man. A pretty move, dipping the shoulder and able to snap it off the inside of the near post. But alas, it stays out.
They called him the goaltender's best friend for a reason, Eric.
So I always appreciate a goalie that knows to give thanks to the post. Wu looks like he's having words for the iron behind him.
It looked like the faceoff was coming all the way down into UCSB ice. I don't know why they would do that, but looks like faceoff will be coming outside, ruling that Herlihy caused the collision that took the net off. So I think that's a fair call.
Delbonis line over the boards again for the Gauchos. Does well to prevent Angeles walking it through. Miller has to go back into his own end. Cruz Holloway the hold. Played it through the slot. Delbonis sweeps it back in. Clough connects with Glantz. Cameron McKean under fire. Able to play it forward. Stephen Fleck has some real good instincts about getting into the action and being part of it offensively.
And he's got the skating ability to get himself there.
Blake Miller carries the mail, shoots wide of the far post. Clough holds it in from the far point. But Owasiak able to play for it for Delbonis. Fakes the slapper. Kaiser cross, backdoor score! Owasiak opens the count, and the Gauchos go ahead 1-0. That's something that UCSB and Santa Barbara hockey fans have seen so many times in Santa Barbara Royal. Blue, red, and white. Delight for the Gaucho blue and gold on the first UCSB goal of the game.
And you can tell that Chris Owasiak is feeling it here tonight. He has been moving at full speed every time he's on the ice. Coach Scott Hires in the past has talked about the fact that he is one of those guys that'll absolutely just run through a wall for you. Well, he is playing one of those games here tonight. Good to see him get on the board here first.
Owasiak scoring his 8th goal of the season as Delbonis leads the charge looking for more. Hops off the heel of the stick of Owasiak at the moment of truth. Delbonis, the Gaucho leading scorer in points this season, that now his 21st on his 8th helper. Cruz Holloway on the back check, harassing Mack and forcing him hard into the end boards. Piagai. Played for Penner. His shot flared away by Karma. Lenny's lost his goal stick as Owasiak curls around behind his own cage. 9:45 to go in the first period. Owasiak opening the offense at 9:22 from Delbonis. Jared Penner played it forward. And now some space for Dakota Yackel. Yackel given a rough ride into the sideboards as Piagai battles with Penner below the red line. Mingrone takes the hit to play it out to neutral ice where Sam Angeles tried to split the pair. Penner, the bouncing puck into the slot. Gaucho is able to, looked like, get the clear for a moment.
Careless back pass, that's something the coaching staff's not going to be too happy about.
Fed into the slot, hopped over Angeles' stick. Trenner plays wide for Goldser. Goldser to the slot, just off of Mingrone's stick. Blake Miller lost an edge behind the net. Clough able to clear it around. Glance off the touch. Goldser intercept. Played it near boards where Miller angles it out. Good stretch feed here for Angeles. Angeles walks to the high slot. Karma kicks it aside to the near posts. Angeles tried a cheeky back pass there that Connor May had nothing of. Evelhoch skates through the heavy hip check at the blue line. Murphy gives it to him along the end boards as Glance can't get it through Connor May. Gauchos put it back behind. Strategos swings it deep. Evelhoch giving chase with Miller. Moving it along, Spears the intercept. Walks in, shoots, save, made, rebound, score! Tremendous individual effort from Cooper Spears to get to the slot. Wu able to find it through traffic on the first. I believe Evelhoch able to sweep it back for Spears and give the Gauchos the 2-0 lead.
And we've seen Spears really stepping up as an offensive leader here this season for ice hockey at UCSB. And I think a large chunk of it is because, unlike last season, Spears has really shown a willingness and an ability to get into those gritty, dirty areas in front of the net where he can just dig away and jam away at rebounds, realizing that it's not necessarily about how they don't necessarily ask how, they just ask how many, and Spears is really tallying them up this season.
10th of the season for Spears. Only Colin Delbonis has more on the year. Strategos shoved off it by Bryant. Santa Cruz captain, forcing the Gauchos back further into their own end. Stretched wide. And shaking himself offside with his slick stick handle at the Ice Slug blue line. Owasiak has taken the puck offside.
And a nice little play to avoid the body contact there as well.
Delbonis wins the draw to Rupert. Mack did well to stand it up at the line, and he leads the charge in up the right wing. Cutting through the defenders. What a save made by Lennon Karma. Lurking Dakota Yackle shut down at the far post at the moment of truth.
And the Gaucho goaltender bails out the defense in front of him. Lost track of one man at the wrong moment. Almost came back to bite him. Great save from Karma.
Rupert sets it up behind his own end. 6:45 to go here in the first period. Owasiuk gains the line and picks it up from back behind. Miller sends it the length of the sheet. And Santa Cruz has iced the puck. Well, Karma, his workload has not been incredibly heavy this game, Kyle, but he's made some absolutely sparkling stops when called upon.
One of the hardest jobs as a goaltender is to stay focused to the point where you may not see a lot of action, but when it comes in, you have to be ready for it. What little action Karma has seen, some of it's been of the very high quality for UC Santa Cruz. You can definitely tell they're a notably better team than the one we saw last season.
Fleck curls around his own net and looks to lead the charge out. It's amazing what having a dedicated coaching staff will do. Head coach Ray Cano, Greg Cote, Thomas Cano, the three behind the bench for the Ice Slugs tonight. Goldser plays it back. Fleck finds Austin Trenner, gains the blue line, tunes it up high over the top. Clough can't get it past Trenner, finds Goldser, throws it in front, Mingrone lurking. Fleck moves it along for Goldser. Goldser angles it back for Mingrone. Bryant as well to sweep it away, and Angeles. Chance for a 2-on-1 here. Takes the shot himself, fired it wide of the stick. Cameron McKean also in there on the challenge as this is thrown to the near side post, where Karma will freeze it with 5:15 to go in the first period. Gaucho goals by Chris Owasiuk and Cooper Spears in a stretch of nearly 3 minutes of action in the middle part of the frame.
I think if I had to use one term to describe the UC Santa Cruz team that they brought here, the balanced attack. They really don't seem to have a weaker line. Every line can kind of come at you with about the same consistent amount of skill and speed.
Herlihy, a lot of skill and speed there, just shoveled it wide of the near post. That's the second time he's had a real good look bearing in on Casey Wu.
He keeps it up, he's going to have a lot more looks, and the more of those you get, the more likely you are to score.
Deflects in behind. Spears shrugs off the hit from Miller. Strategos in there adding assistance, but Blake Miller able to come away with it. Pinballs it out to neutral ice where Piagai plays it back in. A hit off the play on Ken Murphy by Dimitri Piagai. Draws a lusty roar from the Locos here.
Pretty good crowd for a late night on a Friday game as well for UCSB.
And now a turnover in neutral ice. Owasiuk across the slot. Spears couldn't pull the trigger. Garrett Whittingham into the zone. Pushed off it by Piagai. Cruz Holloway gives him heck along the end boards. As the Ice Slugs continue to lurk, Bryant resetting through neutral ice ahead for Garrett Whittingham. Penner on the forecheck. Cruz Holloway, Piagai turns it along behind for Rupert, who returns it back for Demo. Piagai very quietly had himself a tremendous offensive game against Santa Rosa Junior College. 3 assists. Puck comes to the slot for Cruz Holloway. Cleared to the line, not out! Score! Rupert rips it home, and this time it's the Gauchos taking advantage of a turnover at the blue line, and big number 15 notches his first goal for the Gauchos on the Ice in Paradise sheets.
Well, we knew Emmett Rupert had the ability to play physical. He could hit, and he could just be an absolute terror to go up against on the blue line, but at that point we saw another skill from him. let's not forget, he's got a heck of a wrist shot. Boy, did he really put that on display there. Putting it about 13 inches off the ice, right where coaches want you to, just over the pad into the low corner. Great shot from the former Santa Barbara Royal.
Second goal of the season for Rupert, and the Gauchos lead is now 3. Yackel behind the net. Clear to the line, but not out. Miller sends it wide for June Mack. Yackel touches and takes the return feed from Penner. Played around behind, under 3 minutes to go here in the first period. Pollard from the line. Puck super balls free. And Owasiak stretches it wide for Del Bonis. He'll shoot it in. Back behind. Jared Penner turned it over to Del Bonis. Penner able to hold the line though. Back for Yackel. Mack stretches forward. Miller shot off the cuff from Karma. Pollard pushed along the far side boards by Mingrone. Goldser can't get it free on the first stab. Fleck able to get the clear to neutral ice where Bryant looks to find a lane to re-enter. Santa Cruz looks like they may be near the end of the shift there as Trenner turns it back in behind. Mingrone. Bryant giving a tough go of it from Trenner. Mingrone. Just can't move the puck free. Piagai holds it in at the line. Comes to the near corner for Trenner. McKean can't connect wide with Glantz. Piagai. McKean, an assistant for Santa Cruz. Big hit on Rupert. Breaks the turnover behind the net. Angeles with another good look. And Karma shuts him down with a left pad.
Good reactionary save to be in the right spot at the right time.
50 seconds to go in the first. Teams have really turned up the aggression in the final minute here. Piagai. Stretch pass off of Cole Pollard's stick. Whittingham couldn't connect with Nate Hughes. Miller, Spears, knocked it down. And on the second try, Hughes tried to go through the middle. Rupert knocked it down. Took the hit at the line. Jarrett Whittingham. The return feed. And the Ice Slugs run out of racetrack here in the first period. A couple of really good moments for the UC Santa Cruz Ice Slugs side, but it's the Gauchos getting all 3 goals in the opening period. 3-0 after uno.
I think that's the first period that Coach Scott Hires is going to be pretty happy about for ice hockey at UCSB. I think the one thing he's going to be talking about on the bench right now is the turnovers in the middle of the ice. Those have got to stop. Doesn't matter if you're playing against, first place team, last place team, anything in the middle. That is a rookie mistake, a peewee mistake that they teach you not to make at a very young age. And for ice hockey at UCSB, at 2 or 3 giveaways in that particular spot of the ice, particularly in their own slot, that is not going to make any coaching staff happy. So I think Coach Scott Hires on the bench there is probably going to be talking quite a bit about that particular fix for their game, but otherwise I think he's probably going to be a pretty happy camper.
And it looks like we're saving the ice cut for between the second and third periods, of course, with UC Santa Cruz playing 2 additional games, taking on UC San Diego and then California Lutheran later on this trip. perhaps an effort to save the legs of the Ice Slugs side.
It's going to be quite a journey for UC Santa Cruz coming all that way and then going all the way down to San Diego. We made that journey earlier this year, and it's a ways just from here up in Santa Barbara, let alone coming from all the way in Santa Cruz.
Did note that Cooper Spears went into the locker room for the Gauchos. We'll look to see if he comes back out. Spears scored the second goal of the game for the Gauchos. Offensive account opened on a nice 1-2 by Chris Owasiuk, finishing a Collindale bonus feed at the 9:22 mark to give the Gauchos the 1-0 lead. At 12:11, UCSB would double their delight, with Spears going to the slot between the hash marks, backhanding it off the crossbar, then getting the rebound swept to him by Michael Hurley and depositing it in to make it 2-0 UCSB. And then Emmett Rupert off a giveaway in the middle of the ice, finally able to tickle the twine with a good heavy wrister from between the circles at the 16:36 mark. That's where we stand as we get ready for the second frame.
What can we say? Big man's got hands. Good to see Emmett Rupert get his first goal here on the ice in Paradise Sheet. Hopefully we see a few more of those down the stretch going into the playoffs.
So the Gauchos look like they'll be sending out the dealt bonus. Owasiuk.
Here comes Spears, by the way.
Cruz Holloway.
Doing the awkward waddle run of trying to run while wearing skates.
This has been a vocal and excited crowd all evening here at Ice in Paradise.
I will say it's very good to see the student body and the student community getting involved with this program. Got a great thing going here for Ice Hockey UCSB, being a student-run organization. It's good to see the Gaucho Locos, the fans, the friends, and the whole city of Santa Barbara getting behind it.
June Mack played it back, but Owasiuk intercepted. Plays it past Pollard, but Bryant sweeps it forward for the leading Ice Slug score. Mack shot, save made by Lennon Karma. Rebound sits there, Karma gets it with a right crook of his arm.
Looks like we got a Gaucho hurt out of the corner. Normally, if I'm standing over where you are, I can see who that is, but from my perspective, I can't at the moment. Looked like it may have been a shot right off the hand. Looks like that's Dimitri Pia guy.
Indeed it is.
If you're the Gauchos, that is not someone you want to see injured at this point in the season. That was a hard wrist shot going towards the net that hit it too.
June Mack, you can see why he leads this UC Santa Cruz side in goal scoring. 13 goals and 8 helpers in these 6 games, of which there is a record. He had hat tricks in back-to-back games against San Francisco State and against Santa Clara in the final 2 games of 2017. Gauchos control out of their defensive end. Rupert played away by Pollard. Mack to the slot. Dakota Yackel lost an edge, and the official from the neutral zone is going to call the hook.
And that is one of those penalties that as a player I would just be incensed about. It just irks you so bad when the man in the neutral zone is the one that makes the call. Now granted, from where I'm standing, I could absolutely understand why he made it. It did look like a tripping penalty. I don't know what you saw from your end, but if you say it looked more like he lost an edge, you could also see that one happening as well.
Did not see who is in the box for the Gauchos, but it's the first time UCSB to the PK tonight. Lake Miller set it up from his own end. This is a spot particularly where you look for someone like Mack or Yackel. Cooper Spears just shielding the puck free from Pollard, killing some extra time in his own end before heaving it down the sheet. Wu. Wide for Pollard. But Miller curls it around behind. Mack hesitates, looking for somewhere to go with it. Goes for Yackel. Looking for the give and go play. Karma with a big pad save near post. And another penalty call coming up against the Gauchos.
Looks like this is going to be Liam Gallant going. And he doesn't look like he knows at all what he did. Not that any player who ever takes a penalty does know what they did. But for UCSB, not something that they want to have to deal with here so early in the second period. Now 59 seconds of a 5-on-3 advantage for the Banana Slugs.
Gaucho penalty kill, 81.6%
big
on the
face-off
season.
For UCSB.
It's one of those blood and guts, heart and soul sort of plays from Colin Delbonis. Connor Glantz gains the blue line. Piagai back out on the ice. Certainly a good sign for the Gauchos. From the point, Thompson for Bryant, for Angeles. Angeles across, cleared away by the stick of Karma. Murray throws it in front, looking for the tip from Glantz. McKean for Murphy. Ken Murphy switching for Bryant. The slapper, loose in front. Karma down on his stomach, able to come away with it. And McKean's perilous positioning over the Gaucho goalie gets the attention of Delbonis, Piagai, and Rupert.
Not like any of those three to go after maybe a little bit of extra pleasantries after the whistle, right? That'd probably never happen with particularly the defense pair out there.
10 seconds remaining in 5-on-3. Yackel to take the draw against Spears. Stalemated for a moment, but back for Mack. Deflected to the near corner by Coop. First power play has expired. Yackel waits for traffic. Pass for Mack near post. Karma didn't know where it was. Doing the little glove fish behind him, but able to find it in front and freeze it.
They say your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender. Some excellent saves for Lennon Karma on that 5-on-3 stretch, particularly that last one, going side to side to match that pass, getting down, covering that puck up.
Spears shoves over Yackel, plays it to the line, but Blake Miller able to hold in there. For Matt, pass for Yackel, backhander. Karma may have gotten the blocker on that one. Penner comes free with the puck behind the net for a moment before Piagai takes it away, hard angles it off the glass, and Miller can't hold at the left point. Waits for his players to get onside and walks into the high slot. And it sticks to Karma.
Bit of an awkward looking save, but you take him as you can get him as a goaltender. I think the key to that one, if you're going to make a save where it's kind of in the crook of your arm like that, is there cannot be a rebound or you're just in no man's land. That one sticks to Karma right there. Nothing coming back out with two blue shirts bearing down on him.
It's one of those handcuffing sort of shots that's up in your collarbone area.
Not a whole lot you can really do about those as a goaltender.
15 seconds remain in the second Santa Cruz power play of the evening. There have been moments of danger, but nothing to show for it yet. As Angeles' shot deflects off Piagai, throws it in front. McKean, a swing and a miss. And now the Gauchos with numbers if they hurry. Goldser carrying in, drops it back. Couldn't connect with Delbonis, but a steal by Piagai. His shot blocked in the high slot. Things perhaps starting to open up a little bit. Some end-to-end pond hockey play. Glance. Delbonis comes up with it. Played for the line. Flecked didn't look ready for it. Now Sam Angeles in again with a chance. The step through Fleck. Piagai able to play it forward. Austin Trenner on the carry-in. Deflects back to Goldser for Trenner. They give and go, trying to play it in front. Delbonis lifts the stick, but Blake Miller into the zone with speed. Sharp angle, walks in front. Karma the save, and he holds with 15-11 to go here in the second period.
Maybe a little bit of a beneficiary of a quick whistle there for Karma. Looks like one of the linesmen maybe not recognizing that Karma didn't have that one covered, but nonetheless, those are the breaks you take when you are a goaltender and you are under pressure. He's been solid here through the first just about 5 minutes of the second period.
Off the draw, Stratego spins it up the far boards. Evelhoch tried to hook it forward for Spears. Shot back in. Nate Hughes giving chase for the Banana Slugs as Evelhoch takes the hit to move it out. Wu directs traffic. It's turned over to Strategos. He couldn't put it on net. Spears now staple gun to the far boards. Trying to dig it free with Nate Hughes leaning heavy on it. Spears in the high slot. Backhands it against the grain. Played to the line, held in by May. Strategos' shot sticked wide by Wu. Sharp angle shot from Spears. Angles out to the high slot and slowly rolls back into the Gaucho end, where Connor May plays it forward, and Spears with a head of steam up the near wing. Scores! Spears snaps home his second of the game, and the Gauchos lead it 4-0.
And Spears just makes this look so easy. Walks over the line, he's got the head of steam, and he knows the goaltender has to keep the eye on him, but he just takes this one little glance over to the middle of the ice, and it wrong foots Wu in the net, and it leaves just that little tiny gap in the short side open, and Spears' release speed and accuracy picks that spot like it was nothing. Excellent shot from Spears, great individual effort. You can see why he's got that scoring touch.
11 goals for him now on the season as Iwasiuk. And the Gauchos looking for more as Cruz Holloway jamming away at the paraphernalia of Wu after the heavy shot from the near boards. Pleasantries exchanged as a result.
Both these teams tend to play a very physical style, a little bit of speed mixed in as well. Kind of like looking at a mirror a little bit with these two teams. UCSB just up a little bit higher on the scoreboard.
June Mack trying to spit the Gaucho defense. Held in, Yackel shoots and scores! It's the speed through the neutral zone by June Mack that creates the opportunity, and the shot through traffic by Dakota Yackel finds the back of the cage. A quick response from Santa Cruz, and they're letting the Locos have it.
You gotta love when a team has some fight in them, and we have seen a lot of fight from this UC Santa Cruz team. This is an entertaining game. It does not feel like it's a 4-1 Gaucho lead. Santa Cruz has played them tough since the drop of the very first puck, and you get an opportunity like that, you could start to see some things turn a little bit here if the Gauchos aren't careful. They got to keep a level head here.
Bryant took a heavy hit in front of his own bench as the puck goes up and out of play. Yackel, after scoring for Santa Cruz.
Maybe not.
Delbonis wins the draw. Mack, though, twists away with it in the high slot, comes up with the steal, chipped in front, looking for Penner. Piagai plays it along, and Piagai is going to be called for grabbing the hand on the puck, holding it into the midsection. Don't think there'll be a penalty that comes from this, but an offensive zone draw in the offing for Santa Cruz.
A little bit of confusion as well. It sounded like a whistle went off in the building, and apparently it did, but it seems about only half the players on the ice actually heard it.
Boy, it's games like this why I often like to float the idea of a Commissioner's Cup, if you will. Really reward all the UCs for playing each other. Chris Iwasiuk head of steam. Great play by Bryant. Wiping him out along the near side boards, but it's walked to the slot. Woo, what a great save on Cruz Holloway.
Boy, he had a chance for his second one right there, and he did not miss by much.
Shot through traffic, Owasiak. Cruz Holloway dumped on his wallet. Now the Slugs with speed through the zone and a whistle. And behind the play, Cameron McKean came together. The Gaucho, and
the Gauchos are going to get, oh, never mind, we're going to get it even up here.
So both Del Bonus, and apparently that's going to be Bryant, who picks up the penalty for Santa Cruz.
And I think if you're a Santa Cruz fan, you take that trade-off, taking UCSB. At least at the moment, they're tied for leading point getter off the ice. I take that back. He is the point leader. He has an assist tonight, so he jumped over Tyler Barone.
The coincidental minors. A little bit of confusion as to whether or not we'll play 4-on-4. We will.
Game's been quick. This is going to offer a little bit more space for that speed to work.
Yackel back to the line for Clough. Mack waits for traffic. Tipped in front. Karma with a great glove.
Couldn't necessarily fully see it through the little camera monitor I'm looking at, but that did look like it went off the UC Santa Cruz foot. Do not know if that would have counted had that gone past Karma, but...
Well, the big thing is with Yackel there and lurking for the rebound, Karma doesn't cover that. That was in the yawning cage, and all of a sudden it's a completely different feel to the game. Penner stuffed it in front, but Yackel able to get to it and send it wide as have a penalty off the play on UCSB, as it looks like Stephen Fleck has been called for hooking with 12:36 to go here in the second period.
And for UCSB in the early going of this season, we talked a lot about how discipline was a problem. Got a very physical team at UC Santa Cruz here this evening. Seems like maybe a little bit of that bad habit is coming right back out. It's the second time in this second period that UCSB is going to go down 2 men, or I should say down to 3 on the ice. Technically a 4-on-3 power play at the moment.
Third power play of the evening for Santa Cruz. They were scoreless on their first 2. That included a minute of 5-on-3 time. Yackel to the point for Miller. Penner ended up sending it through the slot. Instead, rips it in on Karma, who holds.
Neither one of these teams is shying away whatsoever from any chance at just a little extra shot after the whistle. The officials are going to be busy here in this one. Still a long way to go. 12:17 left here in the second.
And now a whistle and stoppage on play here, as it looks like Yackel is going to take a seat after some chicanery with Spears. Following the face-off, both will sit down.
Say Spears is normally very good about drawing those penalties and not necessarily taking one himself. That time, however, didn't get away with it. Both of them going off the ice as the officials really starting to crack down here. Just trying to keep a little bit of control on this game.
Officials making sure we have the proper manpower on the ice as Mack wins the offensive zone draw. Shot through traffic, doesn't get to Lennon Karma as Piagai able to pitchfork it out up the near boards.
And something to note as well, Spears' penalty cannot start until Colin Delbonis exits the penalty box for ice hockey at UCSB, so Spears is going to be gone for more than the full 2 minutes.
Nice move by Mack, walking into the slot, took the hit, and the official in the near corner has blown the play dead, and I wonder if any sort of contact now is going to warrant a whistle, as Emmett Rupert adjusting his equipment in the far corner after it looked like he may have taken a stick high.
It looked like he may have taken a stick off the side of the head. Don't know if that's going to be called a high stick. It could have just been an accident, which would still be a penalty, but officials on the ice could have missed it. It would have been quick.
So Rupert will be made to leave the ice. Yeah, Kyle, I agree with that being a non-call. Mac going hard to the front of the net and getting dumped by Rupert on the play. The stick comes up, but Rupert looks like he is no worse for wear.
It's good news for the Gauchos.
June Mac to the line for Blake Miller. Switch for Sam Angeles. Shuffled through Mac. Area feed looking for Angeles. Angeles to the front. McKean can't get it on net. The second swing at it. Piagai pushes him away. 19 seconds remaining in the initial roughing penalties on both Colin Delbonis and Thomas Bryant.
Boy, the way this game's going, that felt like it was half an hour ago at this point, doesn't it?
It is 11:17 to go here in the second period. The pace of play certainly slowing with the parade to the penalty box. Back to the line, waiting for traffic. Miller for Mac, glance through the slot. Miller holds the clear at the point. Shot wide. First set of penalties is over. Mac slaps it across for Glantz. To the line for Miller. Mac back to the line. Bryant for Mac. And he couldn't connect with Miller there, and Delbonis on his horse. Couldn't come up with it. Nice job giving him the lack of angle by Miller. Now Thomas Bryant takes the hit from Delbonis. Tried to sweep it to the slot. Colin plays it to the blue line. Glanced his shot, deflected over to Bryant, who slapped it wide at Karma's blocker. Angeles for Glantz. His backhander couldn't get through the help from Herlihy. And now a turnover shot. Karma catches Sam Angeles' chance again.
Karma's had to be very good here in this second period, and it's only halfway over. I have to argue this second has been completely the opposite of the first period. It's been all banana slugs. Granted, the Gauchos' discipline in this second period has had a good number, I should say a good amount to do with that, but for ice hockey at UCSB, their goaltender has been bailing them out here in this middle frame.
Sam Angeles, the third leading scorer for UC Santa Cruz, came into today's game with 4 goals and 6 helpers. Can really see why. Trenner to the slot. Mingrone just shoved it wide. He's knocked down in front of the net. The official will halt play here, and I wonder if this is a crease violation for contact with Casey Wu.
Hard to tell. I think it was the front referee down below the goal line who blew it dead. So you might be right. That could be the case, although I would think for crease violation, I think the faceoff is supposed to come back outside, so I'm not sure what they called.
Well, it could have been Wu initiating the contact. He does play well beyond the painted area.
Which you need to do when you're this size.
Big hit to the line. Angled back in through traffic. Connor May another chance. Bouncing puck wide of the far post. Trenner shoved in front. Mingrone jamming away at it. And all kinds of commotion in front as Casey Wu just sweeps it away to the near side boards.
Talk about how Lennon Karma's been good for ice hockey at UCSB. Now Wu showing he can go for an extended stretch without seeing a whole lot of action and come up and make a good save himself. Seeing a very good goaltending display here this evening.
I think it's one of the more misleading stats that you'll see on the ACHA webpage. The save percentage numbers attributed to Casey Wu as Mac carries into the offensive zone, lost an edge, lost the puck to Strategos. Stretch pass just through Spears, who's looking for the hat. Spears couldn't curl it in front. Jousting with Yackel. Back to the line for Fleck. His shot. Deflected and played forward for Jared Penner. Santa Cruz has gone offside, and to complete that thought about Wu, Kyle, his official save percentage on the website is listed as .617, but with so many of the ACHA teams not keeping accurate shot numbers, not having a Jasmine Kellogg to give us those.
We're very fortunate to have a good shot counter here.
There's so many times where you'll just see the goals against as the only shots that have been attributed to facing them, and I think that's a big reason why Wu's numbers are not as they actually are on the ACHA site.
Based on what we've seen here tonight, they certainly look like they should be quite a bit higher.
Evelhoch plays it back in behind. McKean. Strategos for Spears. And now Angelis stretched it forward for Glantz. The second try. Slugs able to get it in. Glantz holds at the near point. Odd man opportunity, shoots. Karma the save. Rebound lurked juicily there. Will be cleared by Emmett Rupert.
Good goaltending from Karma as she steps out, builds the wall in front of the net, gives them nothing to shoot at.
Rupert rocks Garrett Whittingham and takes the hit along the end boards. And the official now having words with the official scorer.
Not sure what the whistle was for once again on that one.
It looks like it's going to go against Clough and give the Gauchos the power play opportunity.
So that's what it was for. Gauchos will take that stoppage all day.
Roughing with Brandon Clough sitting down. Coming to his teammates' aid. That's something you always love to see. Surely Garrett Whittingham will appreciate that. But he'll appreciate even more if his Banana Slugs can kill off this UCSB power play. Karma was waiting for the icing. Lenny, you know they can do that when they're killing a penalty, right? Spears, stick handles along the near side boards. Del Bonus throws it in front. Awaziak curls around for Rupert. Waits for traffic. Fires wide. Rebound. Score! Spears puts home another. It's a power play goal for the Gauchos, and the 4-goal advantage has been restored.
And it's the hat-trick goal for Cooper Spears. And unlike the previous two where it was just beautiful efforts and a display of skill, this one, Spears just happens to kind of be in the right spot at the right time. It's a shot wide off the end boards, just bounces right back out to the front of the net. He's there to tap it into a gaping 4x6. He's got 3 of the Gauchos, 5 here this evening. A second period hat-trick goal.
And now he's one off Colin Del Bonus for the team lead on the season. 5-1 Gauchos.
Boy, you blink and last game he's caught on points by Tyler Barone, and now tonight might get caught by Spears for the scoring lead.
Stretched wide, stolen by Goldser. Gains the line and plays it back in behind. Mingrone jamming away. And Goldser's going to pick up the penalty here. Taking a hit at the defenseless player. And so a power play opportunity for Santa Cruz looking to respond.
Not a lot of objection there from Goldser as he heads to the penalty box, recognizing, yep, catch a guy square in the numbers, especially with the way the officials are tightening down on this one right now. That is the first place you're going to get. Right to the sin bin, and boy, for UCSB. Good on them to get one and get themselves kind of back in the driver's seat for this game, but discipline is going to be a conversation to be had during the second intermission.
So it's another power play opportunity for UC Santa Cruz. Have not scored on their previous 3. Gallants able to get it out. Force Cole Pollard to re-rack from his own end for Mack. Nice backhander ahead for the goal scorer. Yackel pass back across. Karma makes a great save and gloves down the rebound from Penner.
UCSB maybe falling asleep a little bit on the penalty kill there. 2 blue-shirted Slugs get right behind the defense, and it's a quick pass. Fortunately, Lennon Karma just a little bit quicker.
Dakota Yackel, so shifty and nifty in how he moves with the puck. Great sense to find Penner. Alone, but an even better response from the Gaucho goalie. Rupert rips it the length of the sheet. Bryant. And there's going to be a call on Yackel for that pick hit at the red line in the neutral zone, and so remaining 1:18 of Slug power play time goes begging.
They wrote up the rule book for interference. That was pretty much exactly what they had in mind. Just a little bit of body contact to take Spears away from that back check. Opens up a little bit of extra ice, but you can't do it that way.
So the Gauchos, after the next 78 seconds, will go on the power play. They converted their last time out. June Mack working wide on Rupert. Switches to the point for Murphy. In front, Penner again can't put it past Lennon Karma.
Good patience from Karma as well, recognizing that he dropped down to his knees on the first one, but still stuck with it and kept himself body up high, posture good. Made sure he took away as much of the top of the net as he possibly could in order to make that save and really give Santa Cruz nothing to shoot at.
Del Bonis on the draw, wanted in a dangerous area. McKean upended. It's just a matter of being in the wrong area where the sticks were as Del Bonis twists with it through the high slot. Shrugs off the McKean hit. Scores! It's a beauty from Colin Del Bonis, and the Gauchos are starting to expand the racetrack between them and UC Santa Cruz.
And those are the types of goals that can wind up just being daggers. UC Santa Cruz played an excellent period for most of this second, but just got nothing out of the power play opportunities they have, and now giving up a shorthanded goal on a admittedly beautiful shot to Colin Del Bonis. Those are the ones that can really come back and bite you as a team. Don't really hurt the mentality.
14th of the season for Del Bonis on the 4-on-4. Plays ahead for Awaziak. Awaziak dips the shoulder, walks around near post. What a save by Wu! Piagai curls with it and switches it wide for Rupert. Rupert's shot bounces to the far corner. Awaziak eats it free, plays to the near post for Piagai, who pull it back out. Backdoor feed, score! Del Bonis to Awaziak. Another 4-on-4 goal. And man, there is 1 second remaining in 4-on-4. That is a heartbreaker for UC Santa Cruz.
Yeah, UCSB just appears to be in full control now of this one. Bit of a rough stretch here in this second period, but they've been able to weather the storm, able to gut it out, and now they've pretty much got a chokehold on this game that's going to take one heck of a collapse in order to actually close out.
Off the draw, June Mack walking in, defenders draped all over him. And the hold
Goldster's
is
going to
the
go
call
right back to
here.
the penalty box here.
So the power play, abbreviated for UCSB. Goldster looking to his bench, trying to understand.
It's one of those moments where you got to realize that the officials are really clamping down on stuff, and you got to tighten up your play. Really, they're calling just about everything right now to make sure this one doesn't get out of hand.
So it's 4-on-4 play again, as touched in behind. From the near post, score! Austin Trenner tickles the twine off of the long area feed from Liam Gallitz. And I saw earlier today Austin's grandparents in the crowd wearing number 12 Trenner hoodies. They've got to be happy to see Austin put one home here tonight at Ice in Paradise.
Always nice when you can go ahead and get a tally with the fam in town. Make their trip well worth it. Trenner from the San Jose area up north, so maybe the Santa Cruz team being a little bit more of a local one, but Austin, of course, playing for UCSB.
Trenner now with 10 goals on the season as Mack passes backdoor just out of the feed of Penner to the line for Angeles. Walks it back for Penner. Penner off the back heel of Mingrone. Trenner carries to the neutral zone, and now Santa Cruz with 1 minute and 15 seconds of power play time. 3:30 to go in the second period. And a stoppage in play. Perhaps the puck hit the back mesh netting?
I believe it was delayed offside.
So just one more game remaining in the regular season for ice hockey at UCSB. That comes tomorrow at California Lutheran in Simi Valley. Remember to go to UCSBhockey.com to find out how you can listen to exclusive audio-only broadcasts. He, a guy with a pelting hit and able to play it out up the near boards. Del Bonis. Dispossessed for a moment, but gets it back and plowed through by Penner. And the official has indicated it will be an elbowing penalty coming up against Jared Penner. I think that's a matter of the 6'2" Santa Rosa native coming in close contact with the 5'6" Del Bonis.
A little hard to avoid the elbowing penalties when there's that kind of a height discrepancy. I think Chris Pronger knows a thing or two about that.
You're really going to use him as the reason? So is Penner physics a thing too?
Very well could be at this point.
Del Bonis behind the net with it, can't poke it free from the near post, but able to get the puck back. Walks to the slot, his shot deflects off of a defender and in. Colin Del Bonis with his second goal of the period. And this one has gotten out of hand.
Talked a lot about how for UCSB this is one of those games where it could potentially be a trap. You got to play this one hard, forget about the score from last season's game. Gauchos appear as though they have done that. Scoreboard maybe a little bit misleading and kind of undeserved compared to at least the way the first half of the second period and most of the first period went. Nonetheless, UCSB, I think, happy to be in full control of this one.
Officials come together at the red line. Santa Cruz, as I look over, see that they should have been playing with 4 players. So Cole Pollard will head back.
I like that miscommunication there.
I like that bit of work of officiating by the men with the orange armbands.
Just a little miscommunication, no harm, no foul.
Really, there's no need to call a too many men or delay of game penalty in that sort of circumstance. An honest mistake. Owasiak tries to wrap it in near post. Delbonis poking, and this will get some more fists up into the faces.
Delbonis known for being more of an offensive force for ice hockey at UCSB, but he's also not shy to stand up for himself either. I think the official's going to take both of them in this case.
16 minutes in penalties coming into today's contest for Colin Delbonis.
Got the stick up a little bit high there. A well-deserved 2 minutes for both the players. So this penalty coming with 1 second left on Justin Goldzer's second penalty of the second period. Twos are apparently wild. And 2 more minutes going up on the board for each side. So in about 1 second, the Gauchos will have a minute 19 of, I believe it's probably going to be 5-on-4 power play, based on the manpower that's out there on the ice right now.
Spears.
They took the 2 minutes off the board for both players.
Out there with Owasiak.
Delbonis and I believe, yeah, both those 2 minutes are off the board.
Mayhaps their misconducts?
They could be, I think, at this point.
Gauchos continue to press in the offensive end. Piagai. Goldser gives for Owasiak. For Goldser. On the backhand. Sharp angle shot from the far boards by Spears. Sticks to Casey Wu.
Spears has scored 4 goals on one other occasion, that being his first ever collegiate hockey game, coming against the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears in the first game of the season last year. Having a good opportunity to match that here tonight.
A famous 7-6 victory for the Gauchos in that one. UCSB with the manpower advantage. They've scored twice with the extra man. Check that just once. "90 seconds remain in the middle frame. Fleck gets the return feed. Plays along the near boards for Owasiak. Back to the line, Red taken away, area feed, and an opportunity perhaps for Mack. Connor May makes sure nothing comes of that. Locos didn't like that fire drill line change from the Ice Slugs. What they like this here is Goldser has an opportunity on the break-in. Nice stick handle pass. Penner, he shoots and Wu shuts him down at the top of the crease.
Once again, smart goaltending from Wu to recognize that Goldser had nowhere to pass that puck to. Kind of really committed when he made that cut to get into the slot. Great move from the Gaucho captain. Just not really a good area to shoot it from. And Wu steps right out. Puck wound up right in that Slug logo on his chest.
Scoreboard here at Ice in Paradise shows 9-1, although I do believe, I'll have to check the numbers a little bit later.
I think they might be behind, I'm not sure.
The shot on Karma. He makes the save. Couldn't reel the rebound in. Good look from Glantz. Held in at the line by Cole Pollard. Bounces it wide of Angelis. Trenner. Flack forward from Ingrone. Stood up, Cameron McKean. Able to walk it in. His shot off the boots of May. Glantz tries to carry through the high slot. Trenner, though, sends it wide up the far wing. And that'll do it for period number 2 from here at Ice in Paradise. So, in a period that saw Cooper Spears complete his hat trick. UC Santa Cruz score their first goal of the game on Dakota Yackel converting a feed from Junyan Mack. After that, the Gauchos score the next 5 goals in the period to put us where we stand with 40 minutes in the books. UCSB 9 and UC Santa Cruz 1.
Good period for ice hockey at UCSB. I think the coaching staff is going to want to have a pretty strong word about the discipline. UCSB taking a lot of penalties in that period. Something you can kind of expect when the game is going to be physical, like how UC Santa Cruz has wanted to play this one. But Gauchos doing well to kind of hold on as the period dwindled down and they kind of got rewarded for it. It's like the Santa Cruz goaltender kind of started to slip a little bit in the mentality. It's pretty difficult when you don't have a backup goaltender to come in and kind of rescue you. It's real easy to kind of fall behind mentally, but giving Wu a lot of credit. He's been very good, and he was very good through especially that first period and the first half of that second period. So really kind of a tale of 2 different periods in the second. The first half being dominated by the Slugs, second one all UCSB.
We'll step aside for a brief break here. When we return, we'll recap the scoring in the first 40 minutes of action, as well as give you some additional information about another showdown between UCSB and another UC side. Opportunity to go against a fellow University of California Collegiate System program. I'll tell you about that and more when we return on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Gauchos lead it 9-1 with 2 of the books. You're watching UCSB Hockey on UCSBHockey.com and on Facebook, Facebook.com/IceHockeyUCSB. Almost set for the third period of action from Ice in Paradise here. The final regular season home contest on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Remember that everyone can play hockey at Ice in Paradise, because Ice in Paradise offers skating school for all ages with the Goleta Youth Hockey League, Monarchs Girls Ice Hockey Club, and the Santa Barbara Ice Hawks travel team. For more information, visit iceinparadise.org. Well, after the Gauchos scored 3 goals in the first period, they put up 6 more in the second. You have your pencil and paper out? Let's recap them real quick. Cooper Spears made it 4-0 at the 6:59 mark. However, UC Santa Cruz would get their first goal of the game with Dakota Yackel converting off of a fine from Jun-Yun Mack to make it at the time 4-1. You saw a little bit of Santa Cruz playing to the crowd, embracing the heel roll, if you will, and well, you love the moxie that the players have. You love the battle that the Ice Slugs have shown already in the contest. I kind of have to think that that may have gotten a bit in the craw of the Gaucho players, with Cooper Spears scoring on the power play at 12:57 to make it 5-1. The Gauchos would then get goals from Del Bonis, from Owasiak, from Trenner, another from Del Bonis to make it 9-1, where we stand here before the second period, before the second intermission concludes, I should say, here from Ice in Paradise.
It's been a pretty good game so far for ice hockey at UCSB. I said kind of towards the end of that period, it really doesn't feel like it should be a 9-1 game at this point, as much as UCSB kind of ran away with it in the latter stages of the second and started just potting goals sort of at will. Santa Cruz really put up an excellent fight through the first 10 minutes of that second period and much of the first period as well. So the first half of this game, much closer, but we were talking at intermission, and I think exactly what you said. A little bit of that overzealous celebration from Santa Cruz when they finally got that goal on the board. At that point, making it, I believe, a 4-1 game. Just a 3-goal difference. If Santa Cruz was able to capitalize on that one, it would be a very different game than what we're seeing right now. But instead, kind of got the Gauchos a little pissed off at him. Winds up just turning around and biting him as UCSB comes back and immediately just starts scoring.
Well, and I think another point to it, too, is it shows just what a difference maker Lennon Karma has been in this game for ice hockey at UCSB. Our unofficial shot numbers through the first 40 minutes show that the Ice Slugs outshot the Gauchos through the first 40 minutes, 27-26. Now, granted, a large portion of that is the significant power play time that Santa Cruz saw in that second period, but they really had the better of play for the opening 10 minutes at the very least of that middle frame, and were it not for some absolute wonder saves from Karma, this game would be entirely differently if, say, the Gauchos have that 3-0 lead after the first period. If Santa Cruz is able to convert 1, 2, 3 of those opportunities and turn it into a much closer contest, I think that speaks volumes to where this program has progressed from its sort of Wild West days last season being entirely student run, and to here coming out and, well, it looks like they're on the way to their 5th defeat of the season. The improvement shown by this side, I think, year over year is exponential.
Absolutely, you're 100% correct. This is a very different UC Santa Cruz side from the one we saw last season. The one we saw last year kind of had trouble skating at certain points. They really didn't seem like they had much of a system. That's kind of a problem that you do have with a lot of student-run organizations. Kind of harkens back a little bit to what we saw with the Gauchos in our first season here at the Ice in Paradise era. That season, again, being a completely student-run season for UCSB, not having a head coach at that point, but then 1 year later bringing head coach Scott Hires and his staff on board. And you could see the difference it made for ice hockey at UCSB. Just imagine what this Santa Cruz team is going to look like in a year, maybe 2 more years' time, once they really have a chance to kind of dig in with some leadership behind the bench. They've got the speed, they've got the physicality, and they do have the teamwork as well. This is a Santa Cruz side that could be a force to be reckoned with in this particular league, probably very shortly.
And as you mentioned, Kyle, the first year for ice hockey at UCSB here in the Ice in Paradise era was a bit wild and woolly, playing in the NCHA, but the first season with Coach Hires behind the boards, the Gauchos were able to notch off a bunch of significant firsts for the program, including their first game against fellow University of California program UCLA down at Pickwick Ice in Burbank. Well, it is another significant first this season for the Gauchos, as they will welcome the Bruins, the defending Pac-8 champions, here to Ice in Paradise. Mark your calendars for Saturday, February the 24th, 9:45 start, as the Gauchos welcome the Bruins to the University of California, Los Angeles.
And it was an exciting game last year, too, down at Pickwick Ice. I believe that one wound up a 5-2 Gaucho loss, if I'm not mistaken. But it was one of those games, I think, if I'm not mistaken, UCLA definitely had at least one empty net goal at the end of that game. But one of those games that UCSB really hung with a well-established and very talented program. It'll be very interesting to see what happens when the tables turn. They come here to Ice in Paradise, where historically ice hockey at UCSB has been sensational, whereas on the road, not so much outside of this season.
6-3 was the final the first time they played UCLA. That'll be played the weekend after the Gauchos travel to Tahoe for the league playoffs. More information about that coming up a little bit later on UCSBHockey.com. Make sure that you are keeping tabs on your Gaucho ice hockey program by visiting UCSBHockey.com. We'll have all the announcements about the playoffs and potential coverage as we continue on and close out the regular season portion of 2017-2018, the third year that myself and Kyle Nicolas have brought you broadcast coverage of Gaucho hockey. It's been a pleasure to be part of it, and it's been an enjoyable game thus far here, the second ever meeting between the Gauchos and the Ice Slugs. Emmett Rupert playing the puck forward. Cullen Delbonis into the offensive end. Lost an edge and went hard into the sideboards. Goldser tried to move it around. Yackel swept it forward for Cole Pollard. Pollard under pressure from Delbonis. Slapped across the slot. Penner comes away with it. Penner right into the breadbasket of Karma. And Lenny Holds for his 27th save of the evening.
Karma has definitely not been bored in his end of the ice, especially in that second period. 9 power play shots, specifically for the Santa Cruz Slugs, on their way to out-shooting ice hockey at UCSB in the middle of the frame.
Puck played to the front, just hopped over Connor Glantz's stick. The second try, he stood up the far face-off circle. Owasiak fought off by Wu. Chipped back across by Strategos. This one played off the mesh netting along the near side boards. We'll have a offensive zone draw coming up for the Gauchos.
Big hit thrown by Miller for UC Santa Cruz. Heard that one thunder all the way around the building. Owasiak out there with Trenner and Strategos, wins the draw, throws it in on Wu. Well sealed off by the San Diego native, and now we're starting to see a little bit of the popcorn machine with the lines from head coach Scott Hires.
We'll have an opportunity to experiment, seeing maybe with who works well with who. God knows they've got some big games coming up. This is an opportunity for Coach Hires.
Bouncing puck controlled by Angeles into the attacking end. Curled around pass, backdoor score! Connor Glantz. And the Ice Slugs with their second of the game on a well set up play by Blake Miller.
Gauchos losing track of a blue shirt in front of the net. Good speed from UC Santa Cruz. I mentioned that this team has a lot of fight in them. They have not given up clearly here in this third period. Going to fight until the final horn with this one. I have to say, considering the score is where it's at, that is something as head coaching staff for the Slugs is really going to like seeing.
Glance based on the stats on the ACHA website with his first of the season for the Slugs in what is his 5th game with stats available. Rupert into the zone, high shot, save, rebound, score! UCSB there to get it right back as Adam Mingrone, Johnny on the spot to pick up the trash and make it 10-2.
Gauchos up into double digits once again this season. It's good to see Mingrone get on the board. Mingrone usually being kind of an energy type forward, not afraid to get in there on the forecheck, get in dirty. Throws weight around a little bit, but also Johnny on the spot, as you mentioned, gets to the right spot of the ice, nets himself a goal.
So for Mingrone, that is his 3rd goal this season as Karma comes away with the save at the opposite end. You know, you look at the schedule that this Santa Cruz side has taken on this season as off the draw, Penner couldn't control. Mack pass backdoor through Blake Miller. Penner, sharp angle shot, swings it hard around and out. But some pretty big names in the university hockey world in the ACHA that Santa Cruz has been able to come away with results against. Beating Stanford, beating California Lutheran. Karma not beaten by Yackel on that as a heavy hit along the end boards is going to result in another Gaucho penalty.
And who else is it going to be? Big Emmett Rupert going right to the penalty box. I don't think I can remember a single game this season where he doesn't have at least 2 minutes to his name.
Tonight, however, he does have his first goal on the Ice in Paradise sheet. It's a real pretty wrister from between the circles, and it looks like it's going to be even up as both Mack, or check that, Dakota Yackel and Rupert
and they're
will sit down.
They're continuing to jaw at each other in the penalty box, so we'll keep an eye on that one.
Rupert, by the way, the Gaucho team leader, 71 penalty minutes coming into tonight. Miller behind his own net, plays far boards for Penner. Couldn't connect with him. Miller has to retrieve back in his own end. Mack. Evelhoch hauls him down and he'll sit. Booking the call, and the parade to the penalty box continues.
UCSB has to know that with the score being the way that it is and how physical this game is, they're not going to get away with a lot. Early, maybe with a little bit of a blatant haul down there at that point, but you got to know that the discipline has got to be spectacular here down the stretch if you don't want to find yourself sitting for 2.
So 4-on-3, plenty of open ice for the Ice Slugs. As off the draw, Ken Murphy manning the points. Waits for traffic, fires. Karma fights it up over time. Bouncing pass back to Murphy, able to hold the line. Bryant couldn't get it deeper. Gallant will wing it in on the backhand. Angeles, plenty of speed through neutral ice. Shoots in a save by Karma. mentioned some of the other teams that this Santa Cruz side has played and beaten this season. Perhaps none more impressive than defeating Santa Clara University on the 3rd of November. That's the Santa Clara side, which you'll remember Frankie Nix put on an absolute clinic in the 2-game weekend series to open the year, and saw the Broncos beat the Gauchos in both contests.
That was a very good Santa Clara team too, very well organized, had a lot of experience, came in and just more or less manhandled an ice hockey at UCSB team that was much younger and just starting to learn the paces of the college game.
Glance into the offensive end, has it taken away. Delbonis in alone, hooked from behind by Miller.
And are we going to see a penalty shot here? We might.
The official has given the X overhead.
So I believe this is the first penalty shot of the Ice in Paradise era that we have seen. It's going to go to Colin Delbonis here with an opportunity for him to cap off his hat trick.
There was a penalty shot in the win up at Snoopy's home ice.
Yes, you're correct.
For UCSB.
You're correct. We were not there for that one.
Delbonis on the penalty shot. The officials come together and confirm. Delbonis already with a pair of goals tonight. This one for the hat trick. Ooh, way off his line, and Delbonis, to the delight of the Locos, a salute. And an 11th goal on the evening for UCSB.
So UCSB 2 for 2 on penalty shots this season. Not necessarily the most common play in hockey, but a very nice move from Delbonis. Gets Wu to come way out to challenge. Just uses a little bit of patience to just walk it around the netminder.
So it remains 4-on-3 for Santa Cruz. Have a power play for another 40 seconds. As now Delbonis knocks the puck free. Great job by Yackel. Alert coming out of the box. And now Delbonis is going to take a cheap penalty behind the play. Penner angles it in. Karma will touch. There's a bit of frustration. And another power play coming for UC Santa Cruz.
This one signaled as interference as Delbonis, the one who just scored on the penalty shot, goes and takes a seat.
20 seconds of 5-on-3.
Gauchos just seem determined to play the rest of this game out with 3 players on the ice, it seems, does it not?
Not sure head coach Scott Hires would like that as a strategy.
Especially if you're trying to, play with the line combinations a little bit here.
Mack to the area. Yackel lurks. Karma cleared it to the far side boards. Mack scores! It's the first power play goal of the evening for UC Santa Cruz. A nice job by their leading scorer, spinning and working his way to the bottom of the far circle for the shot. And it's 11-3.
Mack has been good here so far this evening. Shown a lot of speed and just an absolutely wicked wrister as well. This time he finally manages to beat Karma with it. So Karma has foiled him on multiple occasions so far tonight. He's had several opportunities.
Unofficially his 14th goal this season, as Glance's shot changed speeds on the way in. Handled and held with 6 minutes nearly gone here in the third period of play.
Penalty boxes are empty, but the Gauchos still showing 126 up on the board. I think that may be a mistake. Maybe the penalty that should have come off the board with the Mack power play goal.
Into the zone of Wasiak. Walks it in front, pop flied over the crease. Now Now we have another stoppage in play as Strategos perhaps got the stick in the feet of the Santa Cruz defender. No, instead it's Awasiak who's called for interference.
Face-off coming all the way back down. I will say, we do give our best wishes to normal cameraman Jesse Gutierrez, and may he come back quickly. This is challenging over here. This is not easy, especially also doing the broadcast at the same time.
Jesse makes it look so good and so
really does.
simple in his second season working with us here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Jesse, all the best to you and your family. Puck angled out in front, and there's another one for the Slugs.
Another power play goal.
Cameron McKean. And very quickly, the odd man chance cashed in for the second time on the evening for UC Santa Cruz.
Another power play goal, UCSB just taking that parade to the penalty box. You do enough of that. Karma coming out having words for the official. The official not happy with it. As I was saying, you take that parade to the penalty box, you give them enough chances. The way that Santa Cruz power play looked through the first half of that second period where they were just all over ice hockey at UCSB, seemed really unfortunate that they didn't get one, and now they've got two quickly here in the third.
It's now an 11-4 game. As I looked and saw head coach Scott Hires perhaps looking down the bench at backup for tonight, Will Hahn. He was talking with us before the game, saying he wanted to have the Ilya Brizgalov in the Winter Classic role for this game. Just sit and enjoy it. Have something nice and warm to drink in his thermos.
Contemplate the universe.
And behind the play, Blake Miller is down and in some discomfort for UC Santa Cruz.
Looks like he may have gotten a stick right in the midsection. Does not look very comfortable. I don't see anyone headed to the penalty box for UCSB, except Justin Goldzer is headed to the locker room, so that might be even worse.
Miller will take a seat in the penalty box as well. Well, as we had made mention, the teams piled up the penalties in Santa Cruz's victory over California Lutheran.
Another team that also likes to play this very physical style.
So we see that Blake Miller is in the box.
Goldzer had two minor penalties in the second period, bear in mind.
So it looks like it's going to be Miller for a
Goldzer's
block.
got a major up on the board.
Goldzer, 5 minutes. And you have to figure the way that Miller went down, it's either a slash or a spear.
Guessing for the major, it was probably a spear. I believe a slash could be a double minor.
So now, 2 minutes of 4-on-4 hockey. Junyan Mack. June sends it wide for Penner. His shot kicked off the Gaucho defense. Backhand pass for Yackel. Shoots high over the top. Take this for what it's worth, Kyle. I just saw Cooper Spears walk up here in street clothes. Could be a circumstance where the coaching staff, with Cooper having completed his hat trick already,
maybe keep him healthy because this game has been getting chippy towards the end here.
Delbonis Fired it wide. The shot snapped and held as Rupert got some good wood on it from the near boards.
So that's two very high-profile forwards that are out of the game for UCSB, and it's also worth noting that we have not called two very important names for UCSB in either Tyler Barone or Andrew Vieira tonight, most likely attending to duties with the school's roller hockey program.
Shot from the line up in the mask of Wu. Boy, that is a tough save to make with it bearing in on your collarbone area. He's laughing about it with Sam Angelis right now. Goalies are just different kind of people.
They really can be.
Strategos loses his footing along the far boards, but able to move it free. Puck that's played behind by Austin Trenner. Angelis can't get it through Trenner. Who sweeps it back in. 35 seconds remaining on 4-on-4. Bear in mind that UC Santa Cruz, with it being a major, can score as many power play goals as they want. For the final three, as that one ramps way up and out from Liam Gallant.
I was going to say they have a goal on both of the last two. Brought themselves to the 11-4 score we currently sit at. Got an extended opportunity here. They could pot another couple at least.
Mack carrying in on Rupert. Big sweep check from the Gaucho freshman. Angles it around behind the net. Piagai plays it forward. The Gauchos just look like they're postured into penalty kill mode now.
They've spent most of the third period doing it.
Penner pushed off the puck by Piagai. Mingrone. Yackel can't clap it past Owasiuk. The second try. Max pass. Hit Mingrone and goes up into the UC Santa Cruz bench. 10:47 to go here in the third period. 2:40 remaining in Santa Cruz power play time. Remember, this is not the final time you'll be able to see your Gauchos this season. Special game against UCLA, February 24th, a 9:45 face-off for the Gauchos and the Bruins. First time that the defending Pac-8 champions come calling on the Ice in Paradise sheet. Angeles chips it wide through the slot. Sharp angle shot that Karma lost control of for a moment, but able to keep it out.
As we said, UCSB seems to be back to just into a little bit of the penalty killing posture. It's really hard to get a good flow going when you've spent, let's say, easily the vast majority of the first half of this third period killing penalties.
Attempted high angle out off the glass. Yackel makes it difficult. Penner in to add support. Swept it free for a moment. Delbonis. Herlihy taking a heavy hit along the end boards. Delbonis responds, getting into it with Mack, but Penner plays it forward to the high slot, stubbed off the heel of the stick by Bryant. Yackel from Mack. Save by Karma.
Those are the types of shots where when you're shorthanded for as long as you have been for ice hockey at UCSB, those are the ones you want to have your goaltender see. Not necessarily the most dangerous spot on the ice, not necessarily a one-timer. Gives the goaltender plenty of time to get over, set up, make a fairly routine save.
Delbonis tied up in the circle. Glantz, who scored the last goal for the Slugs, knocks it free from May. Correction, by the way, on that last goal. The last power play goal for Santa Cruz was scored by Cameron McKee. Murphy to the slot. Angela's shot kicked away by Karma. Karma at 6'2", one of the modern NHL style goaltenders. You know, used to be the position that you put little brother or little sister in because the older relatives want to be the ones scoring the goals. Mac trying to do so, walking in on here. Karma walled it up. Angeles, shot, rebound, score. It's a power play goal for UC Santa Cruz, and they creep within 6 with 8:20 to go here in the third.
And the Gauchos almost got away with killing off the entirety of the Goldzer major. Down to just 13 seconds left when that one gets over the line. And the Slugs have the last 3 goals here in this third period. They're not going away quietly. Give them a lot of credit for that.
Penner fires it wide. Yackel to the line, gets the return feed from Miller. Pass across. And the penalty has been killed, and now a chance for a 2-on-1. Cruz Holloway just can't receive the pass from Strategos. Believe that last goal, UC Santa Cruz by Blake Miller, but a whole mess of blue in front of Karma to create it.
Is it possible to give an assist to pretty much everybody on the ice? Because that's probably about what happened.
Strategos shoved off it by Penner. Played to the point. Slapper returned back to Brandon Clough. Cruz Holloway trying to jam it along and gets it past Santa Cruz defender all the way into the zone, and the Gauchos have iced the puck with 7:18 to go here in the third period.
It's been a while since UCSB's even been eligible to ice the puck. They are finally back to even strength at 5-on-5 here. Not without giving up a few goals in the process, though. And that's something that Coach Hires is, once again, still not going to be all that happy about. Probably wasn't going to be very happy after the first 2 periods, and this one definitely has not been an improvement for UCSB.
Carried through neutral ice and into the zone. Rupert shot, save made, rebound sits there in the high slot. Mingrone had it hop his stick at the last moment. McKean sweeps it for Pollard near side boards. McKean wide for Angeles, offside. Wasiuk works it through neutral ice, kicks it to his stick blade as Pollard pins him to the far boards. Mingrone there in support. Stabbed free by Whittingham, but Herlihy kicked it free for a moment. Piagai for Herlihy. Walks it to the high slot. Hughes able to sweep the puck away to Whittingham. Returns it back for Hughes. Shot flared away with a blocker by Karma and shot up into the mesh netting back behind.
Gauchos looking like they're kind of just going into defensive mode to close this one out. Having a couple players removed from the ice. You know, Goldzer, because of a major penalty, still not quite certain as to why Spears left the game. Hopefully not for health issues. Boy, that would be something UCSB definitely does not need at this time of year.
Off the draw, Yackel. Couldn't backhand it through the slot. Strategos stood up by Murphy. Played back in for Piagai. In fairness, Spears did look no worse for wear. I saw him walking around as Rupert takes a heavy hit from Miller.
And Miller's going to take a penalty for that one. Going to be labeled a trip for one of the officials. And the Slugs bench kind of incensed about it. I think they have a good reason to. Looked like a fairly clean hit to me, at least through the tiny monitor on my camera from what I could see from it.
Well, as we made mention earlier in the game, sometimes penalties will be called because of the size of the players involved. On that one, Big Emmett Rupert, you like to protect the knees of the taller players, and Miller going so low on him. The officials probably just want to keep this thing as under wraps as possible as Piagai's shot wide of the near post. Rupert shot off the outside of the cage. Another penalty coming against Santa Cruz here. Del Bonis to the line for Piagai. And it's going to be a slash called in front of the net. So the Gauchos now with 100 seconds or less of 5-on-3.
So an opportunity for UCSB to work on their power play here. Historically, not a very good, or shall I say, a huge advantage for ice hockey at UCSB, but this season have been remarkably better.
Rupert waits for traffic, fires a heavy wrister in that's held by Casey Wu.
We've already seen him get one goal with that heavy wrister. Looking for that second one, perhaps. Helps to be about Rupert's size, listed as about 6'2". Really gets a lot of leverage on that big stick.
Off the draw, McKean beats Del Bonis on the defensive zone draw, but Cruz Holloway walks it free from the near boards. Lost his footing, Del Bonis poked it free to the near boards. McKean now. And Santa Cruz content to possess in their own end before high-arcing it out. Rupert into the zone. Drops it back for Del Bonis. Strategos. Back for Piagai. Switches for Rupert. Played to the slot, swept through by Strategos, but the Gauchos control as Del Bonis sweeps it behind. Bryant bodied up by Cruz Holloway. Strategos stabs for it as well. 30 seconds remaining in the first power play opportunity. Wu works it back behind for Bryant. Played to the line, not out. Rupert switches for Piagai. Shot! Screamed it wide of the far post. Rupert for Strategos, plays it in front. Back to the line for Piagai. Piagai, Del Bonis! Too high, over the top.
I think at the last second there, a blue shirt for Santa Cruz just managed to get across, get a stick in that shooting lane to prevent that one from going to what looked like, for the most part, a vacant 4x6. Del Bonis had pretty much the whole net to shoot at, and it was at his mercy. Good defensive play from the Slugs.
Yackel ahead for Mack. Trenner knocks the puck free, plays to the slot for Evelhoch. He scores! It's a power play goal for Michael Evelhoch, and the Gauchos stop the Santa Cruz run.
Well, we were talking about how Michael Evelhoch was really feeling it early on in the game. Had a couple of good breakaway opportunities just by using his speed to get past the defense for Santa Cruz. Good to see him finally get rewarded in a game where you would argue he really definitely deserves it.
For Evelhoch, his third goal of the season, his first on the power play. And Austin Trenner, after being up for the Cy Young for much of the season, just scoring goals and not really dealing out assists, now has helpers in back-to-back contests. Penner Plays it forward for Miller. Evelhoch off the touch from Gallant. Miller. Wide for Angeles. Stretch. Hit off the back heel of Awazia. Penner too far for Yackel to come up with. Stephen Fleck. Dipsy deedles his way by Penner. Gauchos are offside as puck hops back away from Evelhoch. And Trenner couldn't keep the blue.
So this one more or less salted away. Ice Hockey and UCSB going to take the W here tonight. One final opportunity for the Gauchos to get tuned up for the playoffs, and that's going to be tomorrow night from what Eric and I not so affectionately know of as the coldest building known to man. Looks like we got another penalty coming here to UC Santa Cruz.
Chris Cruz Holloway. It's like a heavy hit up in the chest from Garrett Whittingham.
Whittingham not happy about the penalty call. As you mentioned,
The Gauchos will be down in Simi Valley at Isoplex tomorrow night, where they will face the road leg of the Central Coast rivalry with the California Lutheran Knights. You know, it's always a impactful and heavy-hitting contest when these two get together.
Gauchos winning the first meeting between the two teams at Ice in Paradise all the way back on the 27th of October, 4-1.
A game that definitely felt like the Gauchos could have had more. They're pretty much in command the entire game that time.
Game from CLU scheduled for a 9:15 start. UCSBHockey.com will have links to the audio-only broadcast, which you can listen to. Delbonis behind the net. Miller intercepts. Angled back behind by Karma. No high stick here as it was deflected down by Nate Hughes and played back in by Miller. Of course, no trapezoid here in the ACHA. That's how Lennon Karma picked up both of his assists against Santa Rosa Junior College, coming out and teeing it up for a defender to make one pass forward. And a great finish from the Gaucho forwards. Angeles stood up by Gallant. Cruz Holloway. Paddle down, played away by Wu. Fleck with Angeles on his back. Switches for Rupert. Rupert goes wide, shoots, save made by Wu. Rebound still sitting there in the high slot. He gathered by Strategos. Angeles on the second try couldn't get it past Colin Delbonis. Delbonis curls around the cage. Under a minute to go here. 15 seconds remaining in the power play. Trenner digging for it. Able to get it free. Great poke check by Wu to intercept the pass to the slot and unable to clear. Delbonis walks through the slot. Rupert denied by Wu. Jonathan Quick-esque staying upright and kicking the pad up and making the glove save. And now this one is just getting all kinds of messy. So we had a hit behind the play, the player from behind, and then Clough taking a shot up high from Delbonis.
Like Garrett Whittingham going right back off for the Slugs, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that may be Delbonis headed to the penalty box. I don't think Whittingham was on the ice for more than about 3 or 4 seconds before heading right back to the sin bin.
He was like a heat-seeking missile coming out of the penalty box. Only one thing on his mind, and that was destruction of whichever player in white was in front of him.
Kind of surprised at that point the officiating crew doesn't just say, hey, you know, you're done for the night. what little bit of the night is actually left.
We'll finish it at 4-on-4 as June Mack into the zone, dips the shoulder, shoots, save made by Karma, rebound swept wide. Big hit behind that as Rupert pinning him along the end boards. The officials saying, come on guys, let's just let the final 5 seconds tick off here. As the Gauchos claim a 12-5 victory here tonight against the UC Santa Cruz Ice Slugs. For UCSB, it's a second consecutive victory. The Gauchos have now won 3 of their last 4 and are 7-4 on the season and 5-2 in conference play.
It is a good time to be heating up for ice hockey at UCSB with the conference playoffs just on the horizon. Some big statement wins against league opponents, putting them in a very good spot going into the playoffs that will take place in Lake Tahoe for President's Day weekend.
Karma leading the Gauchos through the line. UCSB with hat tricks from both Cooper Spears and Colin Del Bonis. It was a game that got as out of hand as 9-1, then 11-2. But UC Santa Cruz able to come back and battle through. A couple in the final frame. Good game from the visitors up in Northern California.
Like we said, a much improved UC Santa Cruz team. Looking forward to seeing what happens with that program over the next several years, especially now that they have a coach at the helm.
Ice hockey at UCSB, saluting the Locos who came out and were loud all evening long. And Kyle, let's do a little bit of an abbreviated post-game show here, seeing as we both have long drives to get back home, and we both have to turn around and be back at it a little bit later this evening.
I guess it is this evening now.
12:04 a.m. local time here at Ice in Paradise. Who really stood out for you for both of the teams?
I have to say, for me, definitely Casey Wu, the goaltender for UC Santa Cruz, was just spectacular through the first half of the game. And I do have to say as well that Junyan Mack, just having the speed as he comes flying through the neutral zone, the stick handling, the lack of fear to just get to the front of the net and attack the Gaucho goal, earned a couple goals, I think, for him on the night. Either at least one, possibly 2, if memory serves me right.
Much more of a facilitator in this game than necessarily the finisher he has been for much of the season. But I agree, Kyle, he was an impressive player on the ice for the Ice Slugs. Also like the game of Dakota Yackel, Sam Angelis, 2 players who very good about using their speed and wile to create opportunities on a night where Lennon Karma had a lot of work to do. And you have to love the image that we see now of Karma walking off the ice with Sam Angelis smiling, sharing fist bumps and happy thoughts, obviously, as the game has come to its conclusion. Lennon Karma, I think, has really made it a question of who the Gauchos turn to in the nets with his play in recent games.
It's the best problem that a coaching staff could have, trying to figure out who is it that you're going to give the net to. It pushes both goaltenders to be at their absolute best. We saw, I would argue, pretty darn close to Lennon Karma's best here this evening. I think he's really going to give Will Hahn a run for the net, depending on who winds up playing through the first few games of the playoffs as well. And we'll see what happens tomorrow as well. I believe Will Hahn will probably have the net when the Gauchos make the short jump down the freeway to Simi Valley to face the Cal Lutheran Knights. Although I believe it was Lennon Karma who got the win against the Knights earlier this season, so we will see who that winds up being. Remember, earlier this season as well, Karma, once again, forcing us to ask the question, who is going to be the goaltender
coming in relief of Will Hahn in, I believe it was the second game against the Santa Clara Broncos, and stopping every shot he saw, earned in the net the very next time out.
Karma finishes having faced 42 shots tonight for the UC Santa Cruz Ice Slugs, a 37 save performance. Impressive as the Gauchos fire 41 on Casey Wu. For Karma, that's an 881 save percentage. And when you can get that sort of performance from Karma, Hahn, who's been consistent all season long, a goals against average hovering around 350, especially when you start getting the big guns, like Cooper Spears, the hat trick tonight, Cullen Del Bonis, the hat trick tonight, Tyler Barone getting the hat trick in the game against Santa Rosa Junior College, not with the team tonight, and really seeing the defense, getting good solid minutes from Rupert. Stephen Fleck, I think, being a bit of a revelation coming on and joining the team as the season's gone along. To have depth is the most important thing to have in the playoffs, and especially at the ACHA level, the Gauchos have to be feeling good about how their side stacks up as we're one game from postseason play.
As we mentioned earlier in this broadcast, the Gauchos are getting hot at a very good time. It's not necessarily about how you start the season, it is about how you finish it, and you have to look at the Gauchos right now and think, with the finish line in sight, they are in a very good spot to do quite a bit of damage as it comes.
That's going to finish it for us here at Ice in Paradise. Remember to keep up with your Gauchos on social media, facebook.com/icehockeyUCSB. Follow on Twitter at UCSB Ice Hockey, and on Instagram as well, UCSB Ice Hockey. UCSBHockey.com is your home for Gaucho hockey on the web. That is where you'll be able to find the link to the audio-only broadcast when the Gauchos take on the California Lutheran University Knights tomorrow from Simi Valley. But for tonight, that's going to do it for us here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Big thank you to Jasmine Kellogg, as always, for her statistician role and technical directing of the broadcast. Jesse Gutierrez, we missed having you here. We're hoping everything is all right with your family.
Yeah, your job's hard.
Kyle, pulling double duty tonight. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Always good to be here, especially, maybe with a little bit of different perspective tonight, but I don't know if this is what I necessarily want to keep. We'll see you soon, Jesse.
Gauchos take it home 12-5 as they pick up their third win in 4 games and are now 7-4 on the season and 5-2 in conference play. Until tomorrow, when the Gauchos take on California Lutheran University, my name's Eric Evelhoch. Thanks for watching, and good night from Goleta. 12-5 to UCSB, a fitting end to the 2017-18 home season.